Kamen America went to manga, and it's absolutely crushing it over on Kickstarter. Let's get into the comic book news here in just a moment, and please hit the like and subscribe button as we talk about all things comics. This is pretty wild. It's been like multiple days where I've been talking positively about comic books. I've been very happy. I mean, with the Steve Ditko campaign that's come out, which is awesome, with the Catholic thriller in Vatican City that just came out from Dark Horse Comics. It's been a good week for comic books, and so I'm just happy to be here. It's exactly what we want to do, is reshape the industry, because the mainstream industry has gone so crazy. Marvel and DC have just doubled down on everything that's made them just terrible over the recent years. And so this is a beautiful spot in independent works that it is thriving. It's working. Things are changing, and we're building something awesome, which I'm helping to do in a couple ways with Fandom Pulse here, which is my, of course, pop culture news site that I work on with John Trent, the former founder of Bounding Into Comics, and we are running this full-time for you guys, so please sign up for this in the description below. I'm also making comics myself. I'd love for you to get on my newsletter if you are a fan of somebody who just does the work, much like Tim Lim and much like Mark Pellegrini do, like Eric July does, and just gets the books out and has something to rally behind, because we are always just like putting out great story after great story. This is a great spot to be. Tim Lim actually did a pinup drawing in the back of Flying Sparks Volume 1, which is fun. And you can get that book absolutely free right here by signing up for my newsletter today. I have 9 graphic novels in development right now, and we're going to just be blasting those out later this year. I really appreciate you guys for being here. Make sure I don't lose you, because if you like independent comics, this is a spot to be. And these are the 2 spots, Fandom Pulse and my newsletter. I really appreciate it. And if you want to support our channel, support what we're doing, we do have a store where all my books are always available to make it easy for you guys to just check things out, get your books right away. We have digital versions also, so you can get them and read them right now too. Thank you guys so much. You've made a wonderful, wonderful few months here where we've just been growing like crazy, and it's all because of readers. And so if you respect the readers, if you put out the work, you start growing over and over again. And this is something that I feel like the Your Boy Zacks of the world don't understand. When they're mad at Eric July, when they're mad at Critical Drinker, when they're mad all the time because they're just out there not doing what their audience wants and not actually putting in the work, not getting things done, 3-4 years late on books. This is the same case we're seeing with like Ethan Van Sciver and Comicsgate, where all they do is turn their brands into lashing out against conservative creators over and over and over again, which, like, I thought we were here to fight the SJWs. I thought that was the whole point when we started this movement back in the day. And it was. This is what we wanted. Now, of course, some guys kind of came in and they got real big real fast, and that's what happened. They got a little too big for their britches, I think, like that. Meanwhile, people like Tim Lim, like myself, have just been working over and over just to build our audience based on people who like to read comic books. And it's a different thing. And it's really, really cool to see this paying off right here. Now, this manga thing is something I know they've wanted to do for a long time. They've obviously been very manga inspired. Tim Lim's art is very manga inspired. But they still did an American comic book with the way that they did things back in the day. They've been really inching into that Japanese market over the last few years. If you look at Tim Lim's X account at this point, one thing I got to say, he has definitely just like not referenced politics at all anymore, which is like, he used to be a big-time Trump supporter, which is how I got to know him very, very well as a Catholic and Trump supporter. It's like, okay, yeah, we're here on the culture war. He kind of tuned out of that a little bit, but I get it. If you look at it, there's obviously very patriotic things in the brand right here, which, allude to that. And if you're doing that in the art, it makes sense that, the audience will be, influenced by that, which is kind of, what we're here to do as it is. Now, so he's been posting a lot of stuff in Japanese. And if you look at this Kickstarter, there's a lot of Japanese stuff in here. And that's one, to, of course, talk to anime fans and get them interested on that level with the actual manga style here. It's also to talk to people in Japan as they put out this stuff in Japan as well. So it first started in 2020 with this. They've had 10 volumes so far. Pretty good on that level. I'm a little different. I like to just go all over the map and like make, sometimes I'm like, I want to make a fantasy book right now. And so I veer off creatively and don't just stay on the same thing. This is a thing that I've done very poorly, that I got to say, if you want to be a success in something, stay on the same characters, stay on the same brand over and over and over again. If you do that, you win. And if you do what I do, we're doing great and we're selling very well. I appreciate all you guys. But, of course, if I would have just made one series and just stayed on it, it would have been just compounding. And that is something that is true not only here, but in almost every entertainment market, something for creators to notice out there. So they've been doing so with 10 volumes. It's been very successful. Obviously, they've got their whole line of merch and stuff like that in Japan, which is very cool, leaning into that audience. And now they're leaning into it on a manga level. And as you see, this new art right here is done in complete manga style, as it's like this new sort of like reboot of the character in this manga deal, which I think is going to go over very, very well in Japan. It's all black and white, which makes it cheap to print, makes it easy to produce. And this is a big thing that you see, which is why this is a success right here. You can get a PDF of this 180-page book for $7. That's pretty crazy. On color print, it's much more expensive on that. Then you get it as a physical book for only $12. That's not a big buy, right? A lot of the graphic novels I produce are $25 for about 66 pages of color, because color is so expensive to print and ship. And of course, they have a lot of economy of scale. Once we get over 1,000 backers on things, where we've got around 500 right now, it gets a little cheaper to print these things because there are economies of scale as well. So they are leveraging both of those things to give their backers a less expensive product, which of course allows more backers to buy more product as they keep pushing out new books. It is a nice cycle of where once you get to a certain point, you can build on that and build on that and build on that. And they've capitalized on it very, very well and done a very good job on the business level doing this as well. So as you can see, they've got almost 1,500 backers right now. I'm banned from Kickstarter because, of course, I comment on the mainstream industry. They've veered away from that, which has made them less, quote, controversial to people like that. Makes it a lot easier on that level. But yes, it's tough when you're off a Kickstarter, bringing people to new platforms and the like. But that's what they've done. They've coalesced on Kickstarter. Once you get on a platform, staying there and just being consistent does the work, and it does very, very well. And that's exactly what they've done. Doug Ernst talked about this on X. He says, let me tell you something about Tim and Mark that absolutely rocks. They've always allowed the results to speak for themselves. For 7 years, I've watched the envious creator after envious creator try to diminish their accomplishments. They've remained silent. That kind of strength is what you want to build character on. You can sit there motionless and take the slings and arrows and bounce off your chest, and only do something that exposes the small and petty buffoons while you simultaneously inspiring good men to soldier towards a greater future. Exactly. So we are building a beautiful movement. It is starting. I really see it coalescing. The Kamen America crowd, the Eric July crowd, the Arkhaven crowd, us, the Steve Ditko crowd. We are building something new, a beautiful comic vision for the future, which I'm very, very excited about. Like I said, this has been a really good week, and that's why I've got a lot of cool positive videos coming out, which is unusual for the comic book industry, and I expect to see more of this. I expect to see that the independents are going to be changing things. I did another article this week on comics, which I didn't cover on the channel here, but it's the same sort of thing. There's a group called Athon Books, and I don't know if you know who they are, but Athon Books, if I can find my article here, did the same thing. They're very, very huge on the Amazon publishing world, and what you got to realize is that the Kamen America corner of the internet's like still, it's 1,500 people, but that's not, all of the internet or all the comic reading audience. I've got my own audience of, like I said, around 500 comic reading people. It's a different audience too. Eric July's got his own different audience. Athon Books also has their own different audience, and they've taken these genres called lit RPG in books and started making them on Webtoon and Tapas, and they've been building an audience. They're getting millions of views on Webtoon and Tapas. I've seen 9 million views for their work up to date so far. Crazy stuff. And this is all building also in an independent way that is just, again, look at all these books they're putting out on Tapas. They're a much bigger operation than, of course, a lot of our stuff here. But, this is crazy to see this going as well. A lot of people are winning in the independent space. So as the comic industry kind of shoots itself in the foot with the way it's been, insular, with the way it's been petty, with the way it's just, encouraged people to just fight each other over and over and over again, independents are winning, and that's a great thing for before the weekend. So check this out. This is Kamen America Alpha Kickstarter. Really appreciate you guys being here. Sign up for my Fandom Pulse Substack so you don't miss any of this news. We cover a lot of comics right here. We've also got books, video games, movies, and TV. This is the only place that's covering stuff like this. Nobody else touches it. And we appreciate you guys for building us a beautiful readership that supports us. A lot of the articles are free on the signups. I just stay connected with you in case I lose you on the YouTube algorithm. But there is a paid option if you do want to support. And of course, my newsletter is for my books. Same sort of thing. I'm coming out with book after book, working hard like Mark Pellegrini and Tim Lim. We have a store that if you want to support that as well. And so we're doing a lot of cool things here, building a great community. We've got a Discord server in the description below where we have a lot of cool comic book people. Hope you'll join us. Thank you guys for being here, and thank you guys for all this and making a great comic book week. What do you think about this? Leave a comment down below. Love to hear from you. Kamen America Alpha is soaring along. We'll be back soon.